In this video, we will be showing you how to install external server package. So this comes with email Verifier Pro SaaS application only. So basically this package will require you to pre-install the server first with same exact minimum system requirements which given for the main application. So first we will be installing the system following the minimum system requirements. So make sure you follow every step which has been given on the minimum system requirements to configure your server. Okay, so in this case, first we will have to configure the domain which we will be using. So in this reference we will be using the webschool247.com as an server system domain. As you can see, I have already applied the DNS record, except we don't have the DKIM record still yet because we haven't configured the hosting cPanel, and for the hosting cPanel we'll be using the HestiaCP. So here you can see this is the server I have installed, the Ubuntu OS, and I have logged into the terminal. And this is the HestiaCP configuration page. Okay, so let's download the file first. Now before installing we have to use the generator. Right now we are using third-party panels for configuring the server side panel, but we are working on something like using our own bash script to configure a server. So it's not released yet, but we will be working on it and maybe provide it to our users. So for now we are gonna use the third-party applications like HestiaCP, then there's fast panel, then CWP panel, virtual mini, and many more like that. And it also support on the cPanel. So but every panel have their own configuration and different systems, but for user usability and the process of installing, we find that HestiaCP is more flexible and easy for the installation process. So here you see the configuration option. We will need the PHP FPM. We'll have to add the host name. Okay, so here I'm going to prepare the host name first. Okay. Just making sure it's correct. Okay, you can assign an email, so we'll be using our email. We don't need a password, it will be auto-generated. We need the Apache server to be used, PHP FPM. We don't need multi-PHP option, FTP enabled. For DNS we need bind to generate the DKIM record. We need the database MariaDB, and Exim is needed, and dopcode. Then we have to disable the clam AV, spam assassin, IP tables, and fail to ban. We don't need packages. We don't need these packages for any kind of hosting control panel. We don't need this. Okay, and HestiaCP API, this should be enabled and intended to be installed. Okay, so now our installation configuration is ready. We will copy this and we have to paste this in terminal. Right now it's installing the dependencies and rest of the package items. As you can see, it's saying that unable to detect the net panel configuration, so there's definitely some issues, and we have to use the bash as a force. So let's see. Okay, so now it's asking us if we want to install it. Yes. Just make sure you read the any kind of error notice which has provided in the terminal, and resolve it following the suggestion which has been provided. Like it asked me to use the force parameter to be included to forcefully allow the installation, and I have done that. This environment is using a KVM, so I'll suggest using a KVM environment instead of OpenVis8, as it will allow you to use the full resources, most of it, and most of the time OpenVis8 have a shared resources, so I would not recommend it. So let's wait for it to finish and we'll get back. Okay, now the HestiaCP control panel installation has been done, and once it's finished, it will provide you with the admin URL, username and password. So just make sure to copy this information and keep it on a notepad as I'm doing, and reboot the server as it asked. Okay, pressing enter key will restart the server, and I'll wait for the rebooting to finish. Okay, our system has been restarted, and we have to go to the VPS control panel and make sure we have assigned proper host name when you purchased it. This is the VPS. Right now I have used this from the Racknerd VPS provider, and as you can see, this is the system configuration I am using for this installation setup. So I don't need this right now, and let's close this. And I need this domain to be add the DKIM record here from the hosting panel. So let's go to the notepad, and following the admin URL, okay, so as you can see, it's saying me that the site can't be reached, DNS error, because I have forgot to add the CP record for the control panel. So make sure you don't forget to add it. Okay, so the record has been added. Let's wait 5 minutes to process this DNS record update. Meanwhile, we can also use the IP address which has been given on the control panel to visit and logging as admin. Okay, so before adding a new user to create the domain, we have to go to the configuration page of HestiaCP. Then we have to change this PHP version. Right now it's using a default PHP 8.2, and we have to go to the configure, go to web server, and then PHP version 7.4 to be selected, and install it. And it already mentioned it may take few minutes to save your changes. Please wait until the process has completed. Do not refresh the page. Okay, so keep this page active and it will auto refresh by itself once the installation gets complete, and we'll get back to it once the installation finish. Once the installation is finished of PHP 7.4, it will come to this page. Then go to the web server again, and this time we have to select the 7.4 which we installed and click save. Then we go back again to the web server and deselect 8.2 version to remove it from the system and click save. Okay, now we see that we have successfully installed 7.4 and 8.2 do not exist on the system. So this is a must step you must do before adding a new user and domain. So now we go to the edit of the PHP configuration. We assign the value. In this setup we will be using this value, and it's a recommended option set to be set. Okay, you can increase the memory, but just keep the execution to be 120. Okay, then go back. Now we have to configure the MariaDB. You can modify the value from here, but it's better to do it from the file manager. So the reason we have to change the MariaDB configuration is because when HestiaCP is getting installed, it's actually modifying the MySQL package, so we have to adjust that. It might be different for different panels, but for HestiaCP we have to follow this. Okay, so as you can see, we have to disable this option by commenting before. If you don't do this, then it will disconnect the scanning when you are leaving it for to be happen online, and you will see that it's disconnected and not scanning after some time. So we have to disable this and keep the scanning active, and we will increase the max allowed packet to upload more larger files with email list. Okay, once this has been saved, we go back to the server options and we'll reboot the service for MariaDB. Okay, so our task here is done, and now we will go to the user option and add a new user. So we're going to name it web school 24/7, email verifier. Well, we'll use a email. We'll generate the password. We'll copy the password as a backup, then click save. Okay, now our user has been created. We log in as web school. Then we'll add web domain for this user, and our domain name will be. Then we'll enable DNS support, mail support, then click save. Okay, then we'll be going to the mail and go to the edit, enable SSL for this domain, use Let's Encrypt to obtain SSL certificate, click save. Okay, now our mail domain have the SSL. We go to the web option and we will modify the website to enable the SSL also here. We enable the SSL, then use let's encrypt SSL certificate, then click save. Okay, now our SSL has been configured for this domain. Now we go back again to the mail and create an email account for this. You can use anything, so I will use the scan as usual. Make sure to copy all this data, then click save. Let's keep this backup. Okay, then let's go to the database, but we don't need database on this option. Maybe let me check again. Oh yes, we do need the database option. Never mind. So we're gonna create a database here as usual, because on the external service package it will verify the filtering options, so we definitely need a database. So we're gonna name it and db, then we're gonna generate the password and then click save. Okay, so we also keep this as backup because we'll need it to be entered during installation process. Okay, so then let's go to the DNS and visit the DNS records, and from here we'll be collecting the DKIM and go to the Cloudflare, add a new record, type text, paste the record here, go back, then copy this data and paste into the name field, click save. Okay, so now our DKIM record has been applied. Okay, then let's go back. Okay, so right now our HestiaCP configuration is complete, and so this is actually the pre-configuration of HestiaCP panel before going into the application installation process. This applies to either you install the main application or external service packages. So okay, so in next step we'll be installing the external service package, and let's see. Okay, so this is our external server installation package, and you'll get this into a zip file, external server into your SaaS application license folder or zip file, and you have to upload this file into your root public path of the domain. So let's go to the folder first, the domain I have created. It should be on the home, school 24/7 user, then web school 24/7 public HTML. Okay, so there should be some default files, you can delete them. Okay, so now we'll be uploading this file to the root path of public HTML. Also on the same time, copy the path location of this folder into your terminal, cd. Okay, so in this path we will have to change the permission of these files which we have uploaded to the web user, which is our web school 24/7. Okay, the reason we have to do this is because the PHP will not able to read the file when you try to install it from the browser. Otherwise you will be receiving internal server error or something like that. So let's wait for it to finish the uploading. Okay, now we'll type the permission chowm chow r -r recursive, and then our web school user school 24/7. Okay, then asterisk for all the files. Okay, so once I will enter it, what will happen is that you see the owner will be changed into the web school 24/7 user who owns the directory of this path. Okay, so let's enter. Okay, now refresh the system and you see the username has been changed. Okay, so now our files will be accessible from the web browser. Now we'll visit the page, installation page. Okay, now I am on the installation page. It's saying email Verifier Pro external server configuration. Okay, click next. We type in the local host as database host. We type in our username. This is the same for database name also. Then we'll copy paste the password which has been backed up. Okay, then click next, then next. Okay, now we add the scanner email we have created, and it should be scan webschool247.com, and this should be keep it as they are given as default. Okay, now let's finish the installation process. Okay, now it has been returned a JSON response which saying the configuration has been successful. Okay, so our external server service package has been installed properly, and it should be working as an API for this VPS service to your main application, and we'll show you how to apply that in the next clip. Okay, now in this step we'll be adding the external service package from VPS2 into VPS1, which contain the main application. Okay, so we have to go to the settings and general of main application and make sure the external server is enabled, and then go to the email scanner, and you'll see that it contains the option here, and we go to the add option, and we have to add the server path of our VPS2 which contain the external service package API. Okay, so we go to the tab and click the domain and copy it. Okay, then click add. Okay, our server's path has been added, and now when you'll be verifying any kind of list or quick validation, it will use the external service package path, and you can use any kind of amount of number of VPS. Make sure just it follows the pre-configuration system which has been assigned on the minimum requirements, just like the video I have given, and make sure it's process the installation of the utility which has been given. Okay, so after that you simply do a quick validation. Let's try on the test. Okay, this is a valid email address, and this one is second one is the fake, so let's try it. Okay, so here you can see the first one is valid and reviewable, and it's reading the AMX response, and second one is the invalid, undeliverable, and here's the response you're getting from the server. Okay, so how I'm going to ensure that the external server is working, we go to the log, the scan log. Let's see any data. No, system log maybe. Yes, so on the system log, as you can see here, external scan is true, scanner path is being used, and here's the response getting. So each time it will randomize the scanner server path. Okay, so that's how it will be using the scanner services, and it will not use your main service, main server on this application server system, and you'll reduce the blacklist issues. And yeah, and also whenever an external server will be blacklisted or any kind of blockage will be received from the spam trap or something like that, and that external server will be disabled on the main application service system, and as an admin you'll receive a notification that one of your VPS has been blacklisted. Okay, so that's how you'll get more control to manage the VPS. And if you have like 10 VPS or mail server system to be used as external server, then you'll have no problem with validating the email list. Okay, because if one of the gets blacklisted, then another will be continue to scanning the process. Okay, so that is the main scope of the external server API package system. So it will help you with the validating bulk list of email address for multiple clients from multiple locations. Okay, I hope you find this video helpful, and if you have any kind of questions, or then feel free to let me know on the feedback or on the comments. Okay.